Hello everyone, this is Wenjie Chow. I'm so excited today to announce the new release of Planit Pro, which has the 3D model and marker sharing feature. These two features can easily make it to the top 5 most wanted feature in the Planit. So let's see what they are. In case you run into this video later, what covered in this video is for Planit version 10 and later. It is only available for Android at this moment, but we expect to have it released for iOS in May 2021, which is 3 months from now. Please keep an eye on our Instagram account, Planit Photo, as we will announce the beta release for iOS when it becomes available. What are the new features? First of all, of course, the most important one is the 3D model feature. And this is an add-on to the existing Planit Pro. It's an annual subscription at $599. Translated to monthly fee, only 50 cents, so it is really cheap. And it is worldwide, which means there is no region limitation. You can access to all the published markers for the whole world. You may wonder why we keep the annual fee so low. It is because I want you to subscribe to this feature without any hesitation. The more people subscribe, the more people will use and publish the markers. The marker quantity will get better and everyone will benefit from it. With this feature, you will be able to import 3D models, which support OBJ format. You will access to thousands of already published markers and models. You can also publish your own markers and models, not only to help other photographers, but also to exchange the points which can be used for future subscription. We'll also cover the major changes in the design of the Planit marker. The marker also support Polyline and Polygon and support text. I will show you how that works. We're also considering adding picture support to marker later. The last one will be the user registration feature. From here, you can see the number of markers in different cities. Most major cities in the United States has plenty of markers. Same thing with China. It also covers some other countries and cities, but keep in mind we only had a beta release so far. As the new version goes public, we were starting to see more and more people publishing new markers. So don't think those numbers as static numbers. They keep growing. Even if your city is not in the list at the moment, doesn't mean you shouldn't subscribe to this feature, because this feature also allows you to import your own model and publish it. Let's say 10 photographers in your city. Everyone just published 5 markers. That's already a total of 50 buildings, which is big enough to cover a city downtown area. Every local photographer will benefit from it. So please spread the word about this new feature to all your photographer friends. You guys can work together to build your own city. After you subscribe to the 3D model feature, you can zoom in the map to some major city area. You will see something like this. All the square markers are published markers. And the first time it may take some time to download them, but later it should be fast. Markers added by yourself are circles, and markers published markers are squares. That's how you can tell the difference. If you want to see a list of the marker names, just click on this plus button, then click on this browse nearby no markers. Then you will see a list. To import a model, you go to the editor marker screen. Scroll down, you will see a 3D model, and then there's a button right here which allows you to import a model file. If you see something like this, you didn't subscribe to the 3D model feature. If you don't find a published marker for the building that you are interested in taking photo of, you can make one yourself. Try to find an existing model if available. I will show you later where to find them. Or if the building is very simple, you can build one yourself. I know some buildings are extremely complicated. I don't expect a non-professional like you and me can handle that. For example, some antique buildings or some buildings with a lot of curves. It takes some skills to build them. We will use the money that's from your subscription, find some professional people to build the model for you guys. Well, maybe not everyone could build a complicated model, but every photographer can publish markers for camera locations. As a photographer myself, I'm always hesitating to publish markers that is not supposed to be made public. That's why I want to emphasize that you don't publish any secret locations. Publish those locations that are well known among local photographers. You guys may not be interested in taking photos from these locations, but the other photographers who are not from the city will be interested. You can also add a note to the markers saying what kind of lens you want to use and what's a good time to go there, etc. You can even specify a region for the camera locations or a track to show people how to get there. The whole goal of these published building markers and camera location markers is to transform the Planit to a photographer's field guide. The entry point to publish a marker is also in the editor marker screen. If you click on the top right, there is a share button, and here you see the publish this marker. After that, we will check the marker to make sure it is up to our standard. You might see some red crosses like this. In that case, it means you need to improve the marker. Just follow the description to correct these errors. Once all the checklists are green, you can go ahead and check this checkbox, then click upload to upload the marker. After that, our admin will receive notification and we will then approve it. Once we approve it, you can delete your local markers as you use the published markers like other people. Right now, most building markers we imported to Planit are from 3D Warehouse website. You can download the model from their website in either SKP, which is SketchUp native format, or the KMZ format, which is a format that accepted by Google Earth. Then you can use SketchUp or Blender to convert to OBJ format, then import to Planit. You need some computer skill in order to do that, but although it's not that complicated, you can easily learn that in 10 minutes. I also mentioned Google Earth. The reason is, even though Google Earth doesn't allow you to download the model anymore, but you can find the corresponding model ID. Then use this ID to find that model on the 3D Warehouse website. And all here, I also listed the download link of these two software I mentioned. From here, I also list some other 3D model website. They also have some excellent quality models, either free or not free. That's another option for us. Once we have enough income, we can even buy some existing model and import to Planit. This way, you can have model of better quantity or even more coverage of those cities that don't yet have the model. Again, I need you guys' support in order to make this business model works. In addition to those commercial websites, sometimes you may find your city might have that model themselves. For example, New York City, Boston, I found their city planning department released their whole city model for free. So you can get them but you probably need some process to make them work. Then you can import them to Planit. For any publishing models, we will make sure the information is correct. However, there are many things that could go wrong. For example, the models we found. Each model was built by a real person and their quantity are quite different. If the model itself, the dimension is not correct, then there will be a problem. Or we place the model at the wrong location, or maybe the elevation of the bottom of the model is incorrect. In that case, if you take a real picture and compare with the simulated VR, you will see the difference. If you find something wrong with the model, you just click on that to select it. And then there is an info button on the bottom. Coming here, there is a submit feedback button. Just click that, you will see a screen like this. From here, you can choose what's wrong and type in the description, let us know. Then we'll look at it and correct the model. Next time we log into the Planit, you will see the corrected model. As you can see, we mentioned the author name right here on top of the screen. Those information will help you build a name among your local communities. You may not know that, but next time, if you ask someone to help, this guy remember your name and said, hey, help me by contributing this model, I will help back. So this kind of thing that you may not know until it happens. And how to understand this whole marker sharing thing. You can think it as a collaboration platform for photographers, especially for landscape and nature photographers to share. Initially, Planit just the tools. They provide some great tools to attract people to stay on this platform. But later, that's not enough. Tools are static. People are live. We need people. That's why I want to bring this photographer onto this platform to share markers because they work together for a common goal by helping each other. I think that will make more and more people using Planit. I'm looking forward for that to happen. Of course, I do need your help in this case. In the next few slides, let's talk about the design change to the plane and the marker. This portion is very important, so please do not skip. Here I describe some painful experience when I used Planit in the past. Some of them I heard from our users, sometimes I experienced myself. First of all, there's no shared database for markers. Everyone just added their own built-in markers. You can share them within friends, but that's it. New user has no marker to start with. That's very painful experience for beginners. The second problem is the marker can be easily get lost. When you add a marker, you didn't realize the marker is part of the plan file you're currently on. When you open a new plan, the plan will prompt you, do you want to save the plan? You probably think, I didn't do much in this plan, so I choose not to save. But you didn't realize the marker is part of the plan and it is also not get saved. The last problem is the many duplicate markers go out of sync. The many duplicate markers are saved in each plan. Let's say you add a marker for a building. You use that in one plan and you save it. Now you have another plan, you also save that building. After taking a few shots, you realize the building location was wrong, or maybe the building height was wrong, so you adjusted in one of the plan and save it. All the old plans still have the old building marker. That's really become a bigger problem when you have more and more plans. It's very hard to stay synchronized. And in this new design, we fix them all. In the new design, there is only a single marker list. Every time you add a marker, is added to the list and is permanently saved in this database. And the plan no longer has markers. Each plan can have access to all the markers. So when you modify a marker, all the plans see the modified marker. No need to manually synchronize them. The marker no longer shows all the markers at a time. The reason is because we have one list of all the markers. Let's say the whole United States have 5,000 markers. And if you view the whole United States, we cannot possibly add all 5,000 markers to the map because that will definitely crash the map. So what we did is we only show the first 100 important markers depending on the rating. Then if you zoom in on the map to New York City, let's say New York City has 500 markers, they only show the first 100 again. And all the markers in the rest of the United States, we will remove them after a few seconds. So if you keep zooming, we just keep getting more markers show up. Only if you have less than 100 markers in that visible region on the map, we show them all. Sounds great, right? But it causes a panic sometimes when user first time using the app. Let's say he added a marker to a location and then he zoom out. And that marker is gone on the map. They say, well, wait, where is the marker? Don't worry, it's not gone. It's just not visible at the moment. So if you zoom in that area, eventually you will see the marker that you added before. So that's it. You can still share a plan and share a marker like before. And in this case, because no physical file exists, we have to create a temporarily the file and share them through a messenger app or an email app. That just create a temporary file that you do not need to access them later. And the old plan files, marker files, if you backup them somewhere, they can still be opened. This screenshot shows the whole process when you open the app for the first time after upgrade to the 10.0 version. The first one shows the import data. What it's gonna do is it's gonna import all the plans and markers into a database. And here's some process. And here you can see starting to remove duplicate markers. As I mentioned earlier, there are many duplicate markers in your plans. In my case, I have not of markers, so there are total more than 17,000 markers. But there are many duplicates. I only end up with 18,893 markers imported, and the rest are all duplicates. And some of them, it said here, has a better marker. What's considered as a better marker? Let's say you have two building markers. One building marker has no dimension. It's just a marker with a location, that's it. And the other marker at the same location, it has a width and height. In my case, I definitely think the second marker is better. So I remove the first marker and only keep the second marker. But let's say you have a third marker, which also at the same location, but has a different width and height. And in this case, I didn't skip anything. I will keep both because I don't know which one is better. That's why you may still end up some duplicated markers because let's say you modify the building dimension at one point, you will see both. Now you need to figure out which one is correct and remove the other one. Okay, so that's something you might have to do after the importing process is done. In these slides, we show you the before and after of the photo structure. This is a photo that used by Planit Pro. And if you are using Planit free version with in-app purchase, it will be the same thing except without this Pro at the end. So if you use any file manager, open this folder, you will see something like this before the update. After update, you will see something like this. There are two folders and two files I renamed to imported. Those are the old plan file and marker files. They basically be renamed, but they're still there. You can still open them if you want it. And we have this same HGD file, which is an offline innovation file, same as before. We have the models folder, which is you're supposed to copy the OBJ-MTL 3D model to this folder. We have the share folder, where when we share a plan or share a marker, we will temporarily put a file into this folder and share it. Now let's talk about the saved plan. And the reason I have to mention this is because we now save plan automatically. There are of course some benefit of auto save. For example, there is no more prompt to save dialog. If the app crashes in the middle while you're using the app, you will not lose anything because it will save every single step of your operation in the app. Sounds great, right? However, only after using the new version with autosave for a while, you will realize there is one problem. As a user myself, I sometimes just play around in the app. After finding a location that works, I save the plan. Then I may try some other locations and find out if that location is better than the previous location I found. If it didn't work out, that's okay. I just don't save it in the old version and I don't need to worry about it. But the new version doesn't work like that way. If I play around and move the camera location to a new location, it will be auto-saved to my existing plan, and all my previous plan with the camera location that works is gone. So very bad, right? The current solution to this problem is actually very simple. You just need to change your workflow a little bit. Every time when you finish a plan, you save the plan, immediately start a new plan. That's it. Then you can play around in the old plan, and if it works fine, you save it again. If it doesn't work, you just forget about it because there's a temporary plan for you anyway. However, I'm still not quite satisfied with the current solution because sometimes I forgot to start a new plan. I mentioned a better plan in the text here, right here. You can read through it. I'm not gonna say it right now. This solution will keep the benefit of autosave and still allow you to play around. I will implement this solution in the near future. Next, let's talk about the trackball. To get there, you need to select any marker, then you press and hold on the Edit Marker button, which is a pencil. You will see this trackball. Now you can move the trackball around, and you will see the marker follow the movement. We can't move marker before. You need to press and hold on the marker right here directly, then you move the finger. It seems to be an easy thing to do, but people complain about it because your finger is blocking your view to the map. You cannot see what's underneath your finger. And so it's very hard to place the marker precisely at the location you want it. And with this trackball, when you move the trackball, the marker will go with it and there's no view blocking the map. You can place precisely at where you want the marker to be. And here you can see the three things. If you have this polyline button selected, you can draw a polyline like that. So here you can see I draw a polyline around the Governor Island. And here is a polygon. And here when neither the button, left button or the right button was selected, you can move this one to move the marker. So that's three features. For the polyline, you can use it to add a track to show you how to hike there or to drive there. And it also can represent a road and bridge if you want a kind of leading line, you want to see how it goes. That's going to help your composition as well. You can see in this example here. For the polygon, you can use a polygon to specify a region for the camera locations. Let's say your camera is on a rooftop and it's only a certain area that you can work around to get to the shot. and you can specify the height for the height of the roof. Then if your camera pin is within that location, you will get the height you specified. And if your camera pin outside the region, you will not get the height. This is one easy way you can specify the height for certain camera locations. You can also draw a polygon for a lake or any closed region on the map. Then you can see that in VR. That again will help you composition. Last but not least, we also have the user registration and login for the first time. You need to register first. Don't try to use the forget password features because you don't have the account with us. This is the first time we do that. And you can use the app as before without registration. But I suggest you do that because without registration, you cannot publish marker. You cannot submit marker feedbacks. We do that because we want to know who you are so that we can give you credit of the author of the marker. You can see we show the marker name there already in the app. That's why I need to log in so that I know your username. I suggest if you have an Instagram account, use the same username and Instagram account. In the future, if we implement the integration between Instagram and Planit, you will have that connected. So that's something I would suggest you to do. We also give you rewards for publishing markers. Let's give you some points so that you can use that point to exchange for future subscription. Because you already contribute in that model, we think we should give you that kind of reward for doing that. The user profile page is very simple at the moment. We only use your email. The only thing we ask to you to provide is your email. That's it. And we will send an automated email for you to verify your email address. After that, you can log in. We don't yet support Facebook, Twitter, or WeChat login at the moment. We'll do that later. We will also add a lot of social functions in the future. That's the end of this video. In the next video, I will show you some demos how to use the feature in the app.